All right. We are live from wherever the fuck we are.
Welcome back, guys. Two captains, one pod.
What kind of pod we're in? You decide.
And as you can see, we're back again with Ensign Carter.
Who's
And
actually here
he's-
this time?
Yeah, he's got a character this time. He's not just watching the YouTube chat for us, which is great.
It's wonderful.
We're in trouble. We got called into the Admiral's office. We're not going to say what for. We're not naming any names, and we're not saying we did it. We were just involved in an
Chris
incident.
did it.
We're not naming any names, John.
I was vehemently against.
If I have to be
the
dragged down
Klingon
here because
woman,
of something that was your fucking fault,
I was against going anywhere near
you
the Klingon.
you best
That
make
was
your
just
ass. I'm gonna give you all the credit for it.
You egged me on. I don't want to hear shit.
That sounds like a whole. That sounds like impulse control problem.
I was under an impulse control problem.
All I did was hold the camera, so I don't know why I'm here.
Because you were holding the damn camera.
Because you're guilty by
Would have gotten
association.
caught if you didn't fucking film it.
Hey, that Klingon deserved it.
Hey, you're just guilty by association. You better just get used to it at this point, pal. Why do you think you're still an ensign?
That's not true. My thing says lieutenant when I go into space.
Yeah, well, your uniform says ensign.
Mine says
there, buddy.
Admiral, so. But no, guys, as you guys can see, we are on Deep Space Nine. We're here at Ops. We're talking about the first two seasons of Deep Space Nine this episode before we get into the next-gen movies. Keeping up with continuity. Now, you guys have seen us show Deep Space Nine quite a bit on this podcast, at least on the YouTube version of it. Most of the legacy characters on Deep Space Nine are not actually on Deep Space Nine. However, we do get Quark, Odo, and Nog down in Quark's bar with Morn.
Morn!
So, but for
You know
those of you that
that's why
watch the YouTube,
You know that's
Oh,
why
go
he's
ahead.
called Morn, right? Because of Norm
Why?
from Cheers.
oh yeah,
That's why I said it like that.
that makes so much more sense.
Morn instead of Norm. Yeah.
That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, that's literally why
But,
we have Morn.
That's great. Yeah, we're actually going to talk about the show.
At some point.
Why?
We just did.
I just realized that y'all were podcasting, and I have not heard you at all talk
We
about the show.
we just started the podcast.
Like,
Yeah, because we had to get Carter through his tutorial.
we
real quick.
started it 3 minutes and 30 seconds ago.
Yeah. And speaking of, so you'll notice, for those of you watching the YouTube, you will notice we'll be going back and playing the first few missions over again. That's because we're trying to get Carter up to where we're at, so we'll be taking a break from the Iconian War this week and subsequent weeks that we have Carter with us.
For now.
For now. Need a break from the Iconians anyways. Talking about space racism.
Yeah, why do you think we were called into the Admiral's office, dickhead?
I remember a Klingon was involved, okay?
That has... that doesn't change anything.
Speaking of Klingons, hello, Mr. Gorn. Hold that for me. It's right up his ass.
It is. It is right up his blue hole. Fantastic job there. Fantastic job there, Commander Diddy.
We gotta get out of here. We gotta get out of here. I wasn't here.
Probably enjoyed it anyways.
God damn. Like I said, fantastic job there, Commander Diddy.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. I was at Quark's.
Oil.
You realize that was on film. There's a visual record of you putting a Genesis device up a Gorn's ass.
God damn it, Carter! You need to stop holding cameras.
I will never.
By the
It
way,
must be
Carter.
documented.
By the way, so Deep Space Nine happens to be, as y'all know, my favorite series. It's also one of Carter's favorite series as well. So
Yes. The boy. Hello,
we're
sir.
happy to be here. One thing that we have said off podcast multiple times is if you do not like Quark, we don't trust you. That is going to be a steadfast, true thing in this podcast moving forward as well. Because how can you not like Quark? I mean, God, how can you not love Quark? Especially the Quark and Odo banter. One thing brought up, what was it, last episode? Riker talking about, or Jonathan Frakes talking about how Next Gen didn't have the banter that the original series did.
Yeah.
We definitely got that back in Deep Space Nine with Odo and
big
Quark.
time.
And
Well,
then
not
you
just
could even
Odo
add
and
in
Quark. You've got it with freaking everybody at that point.
That's true. I mean, hell, some of my favorite bits are, Cisco and Jadzia Dax.
Cisco and Dax,
always good to see you,
Bashir and
old
Garrick.
man. Oh, yes.
Well, he calls
Quark
him
and Rom,
he calls him
Rom
old
and
man
Nog.
because Jadzia used to be Curzon and Cisco knew
Right.
Curzon for the longest fucking time.
Right, and I know that, of course, but,
Right.
it's always fun when he's, teasing Jadzia by calling her old man.
Yeah. There's he just calls her old man all the time. Sometimes it is teasing, yes.
Yeah. Oh, Carter, if you come upstairs and you walk along the promenade, you get to see all the baseball teams that were made,
Yep.
including the
Terranova,
Deep Space
Supernovas,
Niners.
Utopia, Planitia, Work Bees, Jupiter Station Stem Bolt, the Ferenginar Liquidators,
Neat.
the Orion Buccaneers,
I think you're on the far side for me.
New Berlin Craters, Cation Claws, Andoria Blue Boars,
Yeah, and then all the best ones over here.
of course.
Yeah. Just on the other side of that red, white, and blue flag.
That sounds about right. The Deneb 5 Slime Devils.
The London Kings, which in the series, and in the episode in which these flags and pennants are alluded to, is a professional baseball team of the, 22nd, 23rd? No,
Something
23rd century, right?
Sure.
Cause, yeah, it's got to be 23rd, because Cisco said he went to go see that one player play.
Eagles. The Bozeman Titans. Pike City Pioneers. The Janus 6, the Janus 6 Heat Wave.
Heat waves.
The Shikar Logicians and the Deep Space Nine
Space
Niners.
Nine Niners. Oh, Carter's found the Magatu.
Yep.
I want one.
Lifetime subscription, that's what we were talking about earlier.
Yep.
I can't afford that, but I want one.
No, neither can we.
Neither could we. Why do you think we were so fascinated by this damn thing?
How much is it?
A lot.
Here,
I'll
go.
a lot more than you want to spend. I can tell you that much right now.
Where is it at? Is it in the
Fuck, where is it?
Oh, I got it back downstairs.
Is it in the expansion packs? No.
No, it's... Oh, shit. It's... Is it in items?
Oh, I was checking there. I didn't see it.
Slots and services, maybe? Yep, slots and services. It's on a 25%
Okay.
sale right now. It is 18,750 Zen,
Which equated to buy the Zen for it. So I'm just gonna go do that real quick because I'm closest to it. To buy the amount of Zen for it, you're spending about
200 bucks.
Yeah, almost $200.
Yeah, no, fuck that. I'm good.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean, at the
I mean-
moment, you could get it for like 180, I think.
Yeah, just about 180.
Maybe 160, 170, but
Which, with all of it gives you, I mean, I'm sure it's worth it, but I don't have the money for it right now, and I'm not trying to...
I've never bought it, so I have no idea.
Yeah.
Well,
Alright. Let's go ahead and return to our ships and head out for the Beta Quadrant.
yeah, because we got to make it out that way first.
Turn to ship.
Carter, when you get there, see if you can, if it gives you the option to transwarp yet.
Well, once I set the mission and whatnot, yeah, he'll have the option to transwarp to it.
Oh, okay, so we'll just stay here until you set the mission.
Yeah. So,
Sounds
for
good.
those of you... Oh, my God.
Oh, big ass simulator just moving through right there.
The only place I can transwarp to is the Soul System.
So, for those of you who may have noticed, may not have, I am not in a typical Enterprise-themed ship. Namely, one of the classes.
Nor am I. At least not this episode. We'll be back to an
We're gonna change our
Enterprise ship
camera zoom.
next week.
So, for those of you who are are looking at the screen right now, you are still looking at the USS Hornet. You are looking at the Defiant iteration of the USS Hornet. Get the fuck out of the way, you stupid Borg motherfucker. You're ruining my thing here.
He's just trying to dock with Deep Space, and he's doing a fairly shitty job of it.
Yeah, he is. This one, you get a real up close and personal look at it. But yeah, so as you can see, we have our USS Hornet NX1714-X.
And I'm over here, NX2863X, USS Kitty Hawk. And we got Carter in the USS Salinas. Now, if you ever do, Carter, want to change your ship name, you can go to Space Dock and do that.
Space Dock or Deep
Managed
Space
Ships
Nine.
area. Yeah, shit, we can do it here,
all
but...
all you have to do is just be on the, not be on your ship.
Yeah. And then you can do you can also do it in the pause menu. You go to ship and crew.
Okay, diplomatic orders is set as our mission. You want to explain how Carter can transwarp to it? Maybe, maybe not. So Carter, if you hold X and you go all the way down to where you see your primary mission, there should be an option to, you should be able to press X on it, and there should be an option to transwarp.
I don't have the mission right now, currently.
God damn it. Okay, hold on. Make primary. Make primary.
There we go. Diplomatic orders. Heading there now. The Vulcan.
Oh, shit.
I am right behind you
Apparently I
guys.
accidentally clicked something.
It's okay.
Oh, if you entered, you're good. You're good. You don't
Yeah,
have
if
to
you
battle
enter the
anybody
system,
right now.
yeah, you're fine. We're like right behind you.
Oh, look, there's the Hornet. And the Dick ship.
the Kitty Hawk.
Yeah, I know. I actually had somebody. I was one of my teachers actually served on the USS Kitty Hawk. Thank you very much.
What year, do you know?
Oh, not off the top of my head.
Because it's one of the reason I use is because it's one of the ships my dad was on. He's on the Coral Sea, the Kitty Hawk, and then the Nimitz.
I
He's
don't
on-
remember when. I don't remember when he served, but he was a petty officer.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, my dad was on the Kitty Hawk in the early 90s. He was on there, I think, until... Because he decommissioned the Coral Sea in 89. It was with...
Oh, Jesus, he's already way up
Alameda.
the fucking hill.
Yeah, I'm way the fuck up here.
Gee, slow down. Wait for us.
Okay, I'll wait.
You motherfucker. No.
Yeah. My dad joined the Coral Sea in 88, decommissioned it in 89. I think he was in Alameda for a little bit. And he'd be on the Kitty Hawk from 91 to 93, I think. And then joined the Nimitz after that. Now we let Carter do all the talking.
Yeah, we let Carter do all this shit. We're on easy street now. Just like I let you do all the shit last time.
Right.
Mommy.
I've been through this about 100 times already. Okay, now you gotta talk to the old dude over there. Over that way. There you go. Good little foul boy. Well, see ya.
We had the same thing. The same fucking idea.
Excellent. And that's it. You tell him, Libby.
Yep. Let's see. I will do something very... There we go. Keeping up with foreign relations.
You know, if flipping the bird was an option, I was keeping up intergalactic relations. You know, the bird. The bird.
Yes,
yeah, you
Goose.
know, the finger.
The finger. Yes, Goose. I know the finger.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I hate when it does that.
I hate when he does that. And so thank you.
Thank you.
And so we
Slide. So used to playing Fortnite, I keep pushing crouch to try and slide down the road.
no, you just do the dumbass roll.
Yeah.
Which reminds me of Galaxy Quest. I'm amazed we haven't dropped our fucking guns yet.
Never give up. Never surrender.
Never surrender. And we need your help. And remember, mum's the word. Mum. 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 Hold on, I'm waiting on Carter.
No worries. I'll just wait for you guys inside.
He is still on the surface of Vulcan.
Oh, you got to go to the door on the shuttlecraft
No.
and hit.
There we go.
Yeah, I know. I couldn't get the. It wasn't appearing for some reason.
Ah,
I was
okay.
Not
seeing
a-
the part for bridge.
That's not
and I
a
went,
fan. That's a termite.
That's what Chris sees every time he looks down.
Oh shit!
Oh, fuck
Oh, shit.
you know what? I think I'm gonna let the Klingons take a few shots at him first before I come in and fuck him up.
I wouldn't mind the Klingons taking a few shots at me.
Oh god.
And this is why we were in the Admiral's office.
Yeah, pretty much.
Does the one taking back shots from the Klingon ambassador?
Jesus Christ. My god.
You know, I'm not gonna confirm or deny
No,
anything,
fuck you, stupid game. God damn it. I did not want to go back to Vulcan space. Alright, let's try this again.
Head towards the big circle.
Yeah, I got that. Thank you.
You sure?
I mean, he could also do the transwarp to it too.
You sure you don't want to go back into the Vulcan system again?
Eat a dick, sir.
I'd rather be
There
a
we
dick
go.
than I'd rather be a dick than eat a dick.
Well, you can do both.
All right, Carter, get in there.
The fuck you say? I'm going backwards. Fuck
I'm
you.
going backwards.
Okay, we're dead.
And then I was like, "Where'd he go?" And Sliders was like, "Where'd who go?"
Dude, where's my starship? Oh, sure. You get 2 of your bridge officers, and I get none of mine.
That's 'cause
Yeah.
you're a dick.
Yeah,
Nobody likes you.
being the team leader has its privileges.
Yeah, like
privilege
taking the
this.
blame for all of
What
the
are you
shit that
complaining
Chris does.
about? One of the officers is like the reason you go to HR all the fucking time.
Oh, I know it.
So what are you complaining about?
Because
Sexual
Gronk's here, and
harassment.
Gronk's trying to get up Haley's skirt, too.
He's a
He's probably got a
Tellarite. He's
better
just doing
chance
it
than
to
you do.
piss you off.
Pull the lever, Gronk.
Wrong lever.
Of everybody here, Gronk probably has the best chance of getting up.
I don't get it.
Because he's short.
Because
These
he's
guys take nothing to kill.
hashtag short king. Yeah, you're right. These guys don't take hardly anything. These guys take it up the ass all day long.
Just like Chris does.
I say he fights the Undine. We'll just take out the Klingons.
Yeah.
Fight this dick? How about that, bitch?
You like that too much.
If it was you, maybe.
So back on the topic at hand, though.
Anyway, back to what we're
Anyways.
supposed to be doing here.
Ah, shit.
So Deep Space Nine airs towards the last couple seasons of Next Gen, and we get one legacy character brought from Next Gen straight over to Deep Space Nine, who becomes more of a prominent role. That is Chief O'Brien, who from Next Gen was more or less a transporter officer. And we also get that scene with...
I freaking love this cutscene right here.
It is a great one.
Mostly because, like, once he starts transforming, your character's just, like, backs his head up like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But we are strong. We will prevail.
Also, the show opens with... The show opens with a scene everybody knows all too well from Season 5, the very last episode of Season 5, or Season 3 of Next Gen. Battle of Wolf 359. We'll find out that Cisco's ship
Which we've been over
one of the
in
ones
detail.
completely destroyed. Yep. And he loses his wife aboard that ship, but his son survives. And why aren't you running away? Run away.
Run, bitch. Run.
Cockshot.
Beat me up, Scotty.
A phrase that was never actually uttered in the show. Carter, you gotta hold X
Carter.
and then continue mission with team.
Yep.
What?
Hold X.
So
and
hold
then-
X.
Yep.
Yeah,
okay.
I got it. Give me a
He
minute.
figured it out.
Bastards.
Well, you
Jesus
said
Christ.
what? So
Yeah.
That was because it was
say
taking my
what?
brain a second to process.
Say what again? Say what
What
again? I
again,
dare you! I
motherfucker.
double dare you,
dare.
motherfucker!
I double dog dare. What in no country I ever heard of? Do they speak English and what?
Oh man, we are fucking this guy up. We don't need reinforcements.
Hold out for reinforcements. Who's that? Bitch, where? Could only get him down to 70.
Oh, and I've got something cool.
What's that?
Battle cloak.
Oh, you dick. But, and then we also get, shortly after that scene, and finding out that Picard is Locutus of Borg again on Deep Space Nine, we get a scene in which the Enterprise dropping off Chief O'Brien and a few beds and supplies, along with Commander Cisco and a few others.
Galaxy class USS Enterprise B. I considered using that for
We
this
have-
episode.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Oh,
you
that
got
hurt.
fucked up.
Yeah, what the hell? But okay, we find that Cisco has an indifference with Picard. He doesn't fully trust him anymore, considering he is the reason which his wife is
Which
dead.
I mean, which I mean
totally
is
valid.
fair.
I mean,
Yeah,
I'd
it's
be
valid.
pretty pissed off too.
Oh shit.
But I gotta say, the first time watching Deep Space Nine, so again, for me, it was the first Star Trek series that I saw on my own without anybody else telling me, hey, you should watch this. And I was like, you don't get to talk to Picard that way. Who the fuck are you? You know, I didn't know Cisco yet. Pretty sure that's probably a thought that a lot of fans had.
I would say so, yeah.
You know, like, who's this guy? I mean, we understand it, but at the same time, man, go fuck yourself. You know, that's Picard you're talking to.
Eat some Metreon gas, bitch.
How about a harpoon torpedo?
And me with my piddly little photon torpedoes. But I'm helping.
That's all we ask, buddy.
I'm doing chip damage. That counts, right?
Yeah.
Something like that. I mean, if that's what you want to call it.
Look, I'm at least trying, okay? I know my ship's not as good as y'all's, alright?
We bought our consoles. We're not really this good.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you're not. John probably is, though.
Oh, fuck you. So,
I mean,
after we meet Cisco, we get to say goodbye to Picard. We get Chief O'Brien as a more main character for the first time, really in Trek. We then meet Odo and Major Kira. Major Kira at the time was not like Cisco. Now, I love the first couple seasons of Deep Space Nine for a lot of reasons, but you really get to see how the cast, you know, kind of comes together over the show to trust each other with everything. Within
man,
that first season,
die.
No, it won't. I feel like we should have killed it by now.
Let's lead it over to. Let's lead it over here.
Okay.
Over to where all
do
the
that
other
when I,
Starfleet.
respawn.
Over to where all the other Starfleet ships are.
Oh, shit.
Is robot make noise bothering you?
Here it comes.
I died.
That's right. Come on over here. Come get riggedy wrecked. Don't tell me this shit's bugged out.
Oh yeah, please don't.
Okay.
Because I feel like these guys should have moved towards it. You know? Oh, there they go.
There they go. Open fire.
Got him.
Yeah, I think we were attacking it too far away.
Yeah, we were just too far. Yeah.
And now we depart system. Away!
Yeah, a pretty actually heartfelt goodbye from Picard to Chief O'Brien too. I felt like.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I'm afraid their infiltration of the Federation goes much deeper than we realize.
I'm just gonna go for the current lockbox because I can't use any of this shit.
I mean, I chose a quantum torpedo launcher.
Oh, okay. And then let's see, the first time we meet Quark, of course, he's already beefing with Odo.
Because
One
how
of
do
the-
you not?
Yeah.
Alright, missions.
I've received a report.
Oh, wrong
Deep
one.
Space
Hold on.
Nine, though, said it before, you know, we've read it in a few of our articles. Deep Space Nine is more seen as the soap opera of Star Trek.
Yes.
Which, I mean, granted, I kind of get, makes a lot of sense. But I think if Star Trek was really going to do a soap opera, it would be solely based on the Ferengi. I think the Ferengi, especially the Ferengi of Deep Space Nine, could hold their own show. And I would watch the absolute fuck out of that shit.
Okay, do y'all have Stranded in Space?
Yeah, no. I have a
No, but I see where it's at, though.
Okay.
Like, I'm right here at it, but it's not set as the primary.
It said as primary for me. I don't know why it's not. I'll just wait for y'all then.
I'm right behind y'all.
I'll go ahead and begin it, and I'll be sitting in there waiting on you guys. We get to meet a lot more species in this show, I think,
Yes.
than a lot of other shows, I would say.
Absolutely.
Because it is a space station, and because of the wormhole.
Yeah, I was about to say, because of the wormhole, we actually get to meet a whole lot of new species that we've never seen before. Because they're from a whole other area of space.
And we get to focus on species that, we've seen in passing in other shows, especially TNG, but never really got to focus on. I would say that kind of constitutes the Cardassians, the Bajorans, because there were a couple Bajoran officers on Next Gen, weren't there? Or at least one.
Something like that.
But we get to, talk to them.
There was two significant ones. There was, of course, Ro Laren.
Right.
And then there was, Zito Jaxa?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to set all this shit to autofire again.
I was shot with something, and apparently I got a warp core breach.
So that'll happen if you keep close to a exploding ship. The warp core breach itself will kill you.
Well, it definitely did.
Oh yeah.
And then again, the Ferengi. Again, so when we meet the Ferengi in Next Gen, first time the Federation meets the Ferengi, unless you're talking about Enterprise, but the first time it's really recorded, they're kind of barbaric, I would say, for a species with warp capabilities.
Yeah, I mean, they were... The original plan was for them to be the Klingons of the next generation.
Right.
They were going to be the big bad, like the Klingons were in the original series.
Right, and it, of course, did not work. A lot of fans hated them. And Deep Space Nine kind of brought them into a new light for Star Trek. And I think what Deep Space Nine did with the Ferengi helped them a lot, especially establishing them as a species
major power.
Within. Yeah. And so we get a lot more Ferengi lore in the show. And another character that was more or less kind of a side character on Next Gen. Chief O'Brien's wife and their daughter Keiko. We don't
Chief
get a lot of
O'Brien's
Keiko.
wife, Keiko.
Yeah, Keiko and their daughter. What's
oh shit,
fuck,
starts
what's her
with like
name?
an M.
Molly. Yeah, I was getting their names mixed up. Yeah, so we get a lot more Keiko O'Brien in here. Matter of fact, in the first season, she tries to, in the first couple episodes, tries to set up a school for the kids on board Deep Space, and we get a little bit of Molly in Deep Space. Not a lot, but you know, a good decent bit.
Gauge.
And then come later seasons, we'll also get Worf, but we'll talk about that once we get to those later seasons of Deep Space Nine. Get to see, get an expansion on the Trill as well in this series. Because we've talked to the Trill before, we've known about the Trill, but this series really kind of cements them as well with Jadzia Dax, and then again later Ezri Dax.
Where'd he go? He was right here. Oh.
I died.
I was about to say, so if you don't respawn, like one of us can actually get you back up.
Yeah.
Well, I died, so.
Oh shit! Not this room. It's this one.
Yeah.
That's right.
But yeah, so we have, or like if one of us goes down, you can revive us.
Yep.
You don't have to respawn.
Scanning the crew member. Yeah, shut down the leak already, so we could go outside and do this all over again.
Cool.
And then Julian Brashear, a character that over the course of the series I think really shows a lot of growth. Deep Space Nine is very much a character-driven show, a lot more than Next Gen was, and that's mostly because, again, with Deep Space Nine, their majority time is spent on the space station.
Right.
So, we get to focus on them quite often. We have to do a lot more with them to kind of sustain the show, keep it going, than we did with Next Gen. So I think, Brashear and Quark kind of have the two biggest turnarounds in the show. I mean, y'all's opinion, I'd love to hear that, but I would go with Brashear and Quark for the biggest turnarounds on the show. Because Brashear,
I would have to agree, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Brashear, when we first meet him, especially in the first season, he's the big doctor that,
he's a
graduated
cocky
top
little
of his
bastard.
class. And, yeah, he's cocky as shit. And he's like, I could have chosen anywhere, but I wanted real frontier medicine.
Like, he is a cocky little arrogant prick.
Yeah. And even at first, God, I couldn't stand him. But later seasons, and them kind of like, the writers putting him and O'Brien together and kind of more or less making a friendship out of those two, I think really helped that character quite a bit.
Yeah.
And I started to love Brashear a lot in that. And then, of course, Quark, who we all know. We know Quark. It's all about profit. It's all about, how can I get this money and everything else. And then turns to someone that is... Where'd you go?
Right.
Where did I go?
Oh,
He might still
John's
be in
frozen
the
on my
cutscene.
screen.
It's the cutscene.
Oh, I didn't get it.
I didn't either. I gamed out. Guess I'll just sit here and wait then.
Yep, yep.
Damn well better. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, you too.
Yeah, later on, Quark, kind of uses his, uses his power and stuff like that.
Uses
Then
his
his
acumen.
connections. Yeah, to kind of help the crew and the space station kind of better themselves. Garrick also getting a bit of a turnaround. Garrick's always kind of that shady character. We love Garrick.
I'd say
He's another one.
Like, not as big as, like, maybe, like, Bashir or Quark, but I'd say he still had a fairly big turnaround from where he started.
That's true. I mean, he's always shady. Always shady. There's no doubt about that. But most definitely, first, very beginning, it's always, trying to get in Bashir's pants. 100%. Always trying to get in Bashir's pants.
Yeah, but I mean, can you really blame him? It's Bashir.
That's true. There's the second batch of them.
Yeah.
And Bashir's just trying to get in anybody's pants, honestly. Mostly Jadzia.
At least at first, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was another reason, like, I couldn't stand him at first. Is like he was trying too hard to be a little horn dog.
Yeah, he was. He absolutely was. And I got to talk to Terry Farrell and ask her, about the, playing a character who has 7 different lifetimes of memories and all of that. And she said it was pretty, in terms of if she actually was Jadzia Dax, probably would be a little bit difficult to kind of... She gave me an in-universe answer, a character answer, and then she gave me her answer. And the difference between the two is actually quite wild, because she said, as herself, as Terry Farrell playing Jadzia Dax, it's pretty simple, because she didn't, she wasn't recalling that knowledge. It was all just in the script. It was very easy to kind of play that character because it was written out for her.
Yeah.
However, with Jadzia having been, if she was Jadzia, the character answers, it's pretty difficult to kind of see, who is she? Like, yes, she's going through and she's got her own life, but, how hard it is to kind of differentiate her memories with some of the memories that she has because of the Trill, Dax. And it was I don't remember her full answer, like, word for word. It was pretty cool. And it was very, very insightful. But she did say some of her favorite moments on the show came, of course, in those later seasons where we kind of really get to see Jadzia, as Jadzia. Again, in the first couple seasons, it's kind of difficult to watch at first because they're still trying to figure out who these characters are and how they're going to make them work and how they're going to make them work together. A bunch of characters coming from all different backgrounds. Cisco having been a guy on a starship at Wolf 359. Chief O'Brien, who'd been on a starship for years. John, stay with us. John, buddy. Hey, stay with us.
Yep, I'm still here.
Okay.
God damn it, I hit the wrong fucking button.
shouted out Sean.
But we got
Wrong franchise.
but of course,
Fire is not my weakness.
Chief O'Brien, having been on the Starship Enterprise, coming to a space station. Cisco coming from a starship to a space station. Kira, who had just done a lot in her short life, taking over a space station from the enemy opposition that controlled her and her planet for so long. Odo, who had been security and operations officer on the space station with the Cardassians, now continuing that same role here under Starfleet/Bajoran control.
Carter, have you completed the mission yet? Like, have you turned it in?
Yeah.
Oh, because it says you do not meet the requirements for the next one.
I completed the mission.
Hold your X button.
Yeah, Carter does not meet the requirements for...
Yeah. I don't have any other things. I have standard actions and then task force operations, but that's it.
Okay, hold on.
Check your inventory. Go through that real quick.
That's because I hit the wrong fucking thing.
Okay.
It's fine. I got it. I'm good now.
Now we got research rescue.
Yeah.
Bravo.
Okay. But yeah, you got all these different characters coming through all these different backgrounds, and
all walks of life.
Right. How do we get them to become a crew? How do we get them to become a team without, one of the things that Deep Space Nine did, and I applaud them for, is that they made them a crew without having to go through some big scarring,
Oops. I guess we're waiting on
the
Chris.
mission is
researcher
well.
rescue.
I beamed over here because it said. Okay,
I fucked up.
see where it's
That
at.
was my bad.
I'm headed there. Okay.
Like I said, that was my bad. I fucked up.
Okay, I see it. I'm headed to it now. But they were able to make them a crew and make them a well-oiled machine pretty early without having to put them through a lot of traumatic events. Because we don't really get traumatic with them until, the later seasons, after they get the Defiant, after, they go really start exploring through the wormhole and the Jem'Hadar surface. And so they were able to do this, pretty... I think they were able to do it in a way that helped a lot for them. Because, with the Enterprise crew, their first mission, not the original series, however, but the Next Gen. For Next Gen, it's... they have to go through encounter at Farpoint. One set has to fuck with Q. The other set is trying to figure out what's going on at at the station, at Farpoint Station.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm trying to get my mind back on it because I'm all discombobulated now. But oh, we're going this way, buddy.
Klingon invasion was a blow to Gorn self-determination and identity.
Okay, Carter, for you, easiest part of this mission, you let us kill everybody, you extinguish fires.
And beam out
scientists. Yeah. I'll head up and start killing people. Dude, I found a workaround with this mission. If you go to the right instead of the left in the very last room, you don't have to fuck with the big guy. You can walk right past him.
I like fucking with the big guy.
I know it's all. I did, but one of my other characters that I did a run through with, I was like, what happens if I go to the right? I was like, oh, I don't have to fuck with him. That's cool.
Fair enough.
These kinds of
They call
rogues
Carter the fire.
But yeah,
man.
claim their identity through their history.
with Deep Space Nine, it very much was like, you know, we didn't have to worry about a big bad horrible thing that's going to tie the crew together. They just kind of did it over time, and they did it beautifully, I think. You know,
I
versus
mean,
some
we
of the
did
other
eventually
shows.
get like a big bad thing because
Right.
Hoped if the corn had just asked.
because of Dominion are assholes, but that's beside the point, I guess.
Right, but even by the time that we face the Dominion, we face the Jem'Hadar and the Vorta. It's a well-oiled machine that's already been a team for a long time. You know, and I think,
Oh,
and then that's what I'm saying. Like Deep Space Nine was able to do this in a beautiful way.
Oh, missed a scientist. I'll go get him.
Okay.
Where?
Back in the last room. Like I said, I got him. We're good. Just worry about the last guy.
Ah,
Get out of my targeting space. Damn it, I keep trying to fucking jump over shit and I forget this is not Fortnite.
Indeed,
Okay.
it is not.
you
What did you say, Carter?
unfortunately you cannot jump over stuff in this. I've already tried that.
There's another
Yeah.
resource to save.
Alright. Continue mission with team. I will say though, when it comes to the first season, the characters that made the first two seasons, the characters that made the biggest impressions on me, of course, Chief O'Brien. I gotta give Chief O'Brien his flowers there. You know, because already kind of a legacy character. You know, getting shown in a new light, and he's the guy that gets it done. You know, he's the guy that's going to make sure this space station is going to survive. And then Quark, of course.
Oh, Quark.
Carter, this being one of your favorite series as well, who were the characters that made the biggest impression on you in those first two seasons? Like, who were the ones that stuck out for you that, like, were really great, you loved to see them on the screen?
I mean, obviously Quark, but I don't remember if he's in
Yeah.
the first two seasons. But
Oh, yeah, yeah,
it's-
he's in every season.
we have to remember it's been a very long time since I've seen Deep Space Nine. I was
Right.
He's in a good chunk of those
15 years old.
episodes.
For me, I was like, I'd say I was probably a teenager last time I saw Deep Space Nine.
Right.
Set up several shield generators to help
So I'd have to go back and rewatch. Which
I
is
last saw
actually, I
Deep
was
Space
last
Nine
night.
all the way through, I think was 5 or 6 years ago.
For me, it's probably about 3, but I just started my run through again. I watch it when Hannah's not home, so I don't spoil anything for her. You know, taking her
Right.
through Star Trek in the canonical timeline. So, you know, y'all have heard me talk about Enterprise before. We finally got through that. We, for you podcasters out there listening, if you want to know how that journey's gone for us, we got into the first episode of Discovery. Hannah saw the Klingons, was like, what the hell? And
I
then,
cannot do this.
yeah, and then immediately was like, did I go the wrong way? I had to have gone the wrong way.
Yeah,
Because it won't let me through.
Yeah, we're hitting an invisible wall, so yeah, we
Oh, there it is. There's the path.
Yeah, we're just dumb. It's
Okay.
okay.
Could help to save without disrupting Federation colonies.
So, at the end of the episode, I told her, I was like, give her the rest of the episode, you know, like, just trying to keep her mind open, you know, not trying to put my bias on my wife, you know. Like,
Yeah.
yes, she's going to hear me yell about the things that I don't like. She's going to hear me go off. But I'm, you know, trying very much not to put my own biases on her. I want her to find Trek in her own light, because that's the beauty of Trek. Everybody finds it different, and everybody gets to do, you know, gets to it in their own way. And however you get into Trek,
Chris
it
and I
doesn't
being
matter.
a perfect example of that.
Right. The overall is it does not matter how you get into Trek. Just as long as you're a respectful fan, you respect those that have great, you know, have their own. I'm hurt. I need some help. As long as you respect other fans, their opinions, and everything else, and you know, you're nice about it when you have discussions. You know, you keep things civil. We're not the Star Wars fandom. But so, you know, I try to let her make her own bias, but at the end of the first episode of Discovery, she's like, can we just skip the Strange New Worlds? And I was like, I have no problem with that. So
You missed some of what I said.
we've got
I said, "Fuck this shit.
yeah.
That's not a Klingon."
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
we moved on.
Yeah, if y'all didn't hear her, her exact words were, fuck this shit, that's not a Klingon, and then we moved on. Those were her words. Now,
Looks like a duck and talks like a duck. It's a cat.
so we've gotten into Strange New Worlds. We finished the first 4 episodes, started the 5th episode of the first season.
And then the stars came on.
Yeah. So for those of you that are wondering my views on that so far, as a diehard TOS fan, I actually enjoy it. You know, there are some things that I've got a bit of a beef with, but, you know, I'm trying not to let old biases get in the way of this show for me, considering the fact that some of the things that I'm beefing with, I really can't even beef with. I talked to John about this yesterday or the day before. Yeah.
We were
how,
literally
like,
talking about this last night.
yeah. How, like, you know, the original series, that first episode, that ended up getting canceled before they rewrote the show and brought in all the characters that we know and love for the original series.
That nobody would see again. Court martial?
Almost 20, 30 years.
Well, no, because we saw it in one of the episodes, the 2-parter.
Right. Yeah. Court martial. That's right. But even still, we wouldn't see it in full
In its
for like another
entirety.
20, 30 years.
Yeah.
For another 20 years, because they wouldn't release it until like the DVD or VHS sets started to come out. But
His name is Cactus the Snack. Cracks me up every frickin' time.
you know, in that first episode, we don't get a lot. We just barely get names of some of the people on the Enterprise. We barely know anything about them. We don't know anything about them, honestly. It's very much so them getting to play around with these characters, with this crew. They get to openly do that because it is something that we don't know. But there are a few things that I'm like, I don't know how this is going to work, how this is going to play out for me as a fan of the original series, but we'll see. So that's my take on the first 4 episodes. I enjoy it, though, for what it is so far.
Right.
But I cannot wait to get my wife into the original series, though I have warned her several times. And I'll warn you guys, if you want to go back and watch the original series, if you're not into Trek or you have never checked it out, it is a product of the 60s, and that is how you will see it. It is...
I mean...
It is...
Maybe I'm just looking through nostalgia
watch.
glasses, but I was like, I always love it. Doesn't matter.
I do too. Yeah, I do too. Like, yes, there are still things like, it's still Trek, but it's like watching the Adam West Batman. It's 100% like watching the Adam West Batman. It's Batman. It's great. It's Adam West. It is nostalgia through and through. However, if you go back and watch it now, you're like, shit, this is a product of the 60s like a motherfucker. You know, you got Batman dancing at parties with Robin, you know, getting hyped up on drugs and shit. So, you know.
I'm gonna let Chris talk to you guys for a second because I have to use the bathroom.
Yeah. Yep.
I shall return.
So you know, there's a lot of 60s in the original series, but I'm excited to get there, show my wife my favorite series, get her into the movies that got me into Trek, and then so on and so forth. I'm excited to get her into TNG as well. And the Deep Space Nine. Now, my wife has seen Deep Space Nine in passing with me a few times. She sat down and watched a few episodes, but she's never seen it through and through. And so, I'm. But the little bit that she's seen, she's even said is, you know, that's still her favorite Trek so far. But she does have a love for Enterprise, and I enjoy that.
Second favorite.
Yeah, and
I understand why you don't like, but like.
So I'm very curious to see where this goes. You know how she likes it. Once we get through all of it, you know, kind of sit down and discuss with her. We'll bring her on the podcast and kind of discuss with her what her favorite series were, things she liked, things she didn't like about certain series, certain episodes, certain movies, even. And with Carter, Carter's going to be joining us a lot more. And one of the things we discussed with you, Carter, is you're to go back and watch little bits and pieces of, like, the seasons at least. You know, I know watching a whole season in a week can be quite difficult for some, especially those with a job.
Unlike
but like
some of
next
on this podcast.
Yeah, but like next week we're discussing First Contact. So Wednesday, get home from work, load up First Contact, watch it, and we're gonna have Carter kind of doing that same thing, letting Carter talk about some of the things he likes, doesn't like, things he would maybe do differently, stuff like that. To kind of get a perspective of maybe you guys, maybe some of the newer Trekkies out there. As the podcast goes on, once we get through all the series, because hell, we're already on Deep Space Nine. Once we get past Deep Space Nine and Voyager, we're to hit Enterprise. After Enterprise, we got the 2009 movies, the Kelvin timeline. Then we're to hit Discovery and Strange New World, or Discovery, Picard, and Strange New Worlds, which is it's gonna be a little bit of a timey-wimey, thing for a little bit, because we go from not necessarily the beginning of Starfleet, but beginning of Starfleet as we know it, into the end, the current days of Starfleet with Picard, and then we go right back to right before the original series with Strange New Worlds. So it's going to be, a little difficult for you guys there, but
a little bit of a culture shock.
Yeah, but some of the other things we have planned for you guys, we're going to try to do some like live podcasts where you guys get to see us. Kind of show you some of the things we have in our Star Trek collections, talk about some of the books, the comics, the other media forms of Trek out there, some of the fan-made shows that were on YouTube and subsequently canceled, some of the, animated series that are out there, such as Lower Decks, Star Trek the Animated Series. There was another one based off Next Gen, but I can't remember the name of it. But it didn't have a long run. But yeah, we'll get through that stuff.
Yep.
But yeah, we're definitely going to bring my wife on as we get through these series with her and kind of get her take on them, because it's fun to hear from the new Trekkies, especially from me, someone as seasoned as I am, I would say, in the Trek universe. John, I don't know about you, but I like the newer opinions, the people that weren't born and raised with it like me and you were, pretty much.
Right. I can understand that.
Yeah.
And of course, like I value and appreciate their opinion, mind you.
Yeah.
Of course, some things are going to be off, but there's not much you can do about that.
Right. Carter, do you have the new mission yet? Should be Secret Orders. Yeah.
Sorry, I was doing something.
No, you're good. If you got to go through your inventory and shit, because I know you're getting gear that can help your ship out, so if you got to do that, do that.
No, I was doing something on my phone.
Oh, okay. Well, don't forget to go through your inventory. You'll be getting some consoles, help your ship, some other items.
I've already been upgrading my ship.
Yeah. I got you.
That's good.
But yeah, like, again, yeah, their opinions are going to definitely be off, from ours. But again, it's fun to hear where they're at, where they're coming from, what got them into Trek, more or less, their favorite series, why this, why that, versus us. It's fun to, with me and you talking about it, you were born and raised in it. I learned it as, a prepubescent kid at 10 years old, and found my own way through it past what my parents showed me.
Which is wild.
But for me, that's almost, almost 20 years ago now. So that's 18 years ago. A whole child has been born and become an adult in the time since I got into Trek. So, to hear these new opinions that people have that I don't, quite interesting to me.
Yeah.
I'm already inside the mission, so I'll just wait for you guys here.
I was updating a couple things.
No worries. Alright, let's go have some fun. So, Carter, you'll notice if we shoot the Metron gas in just the right way, it ignites everything else.
Mm-hmm.
So much fun. But it will also fuck your ship up, so be careful.
Good to know.
Where's my ridge? There it is. Fuck you, little raptor escort.
God damn it. I got destroyed with a Metron gas ignition.
Yeah.
Fucking rude.
That was not my fault.
Something like that.
Oh shit, I'm about to die. Fuck.
Same.
And there I go. Damn.
Got it?
You went boom.
Yeah, you did.
Video. You like legit quacks.
I'm okay.
Why does it
think-
sound like a... Never mind.
What?
Nothing, don't worry about it.
Okay. Alright. One Klingon thing down. Now we're headed to the next one.
Mm-hmm.
I was destroyed again.
Oh, shit.
Well, yippee for you. No.
But you know what, John? Fuck you too, okay?
Come on. You know you love me.
I don't know if I'd use love yet. I haven't known you long enough for that.
That cuts me. Cuts me real deep, man.
But again, I'm real... Oh, you're fine. We all gotta go slow right now. But man, I am so excited for the next episode, though. Honestly, cannot wait to get there. First Contact, other than the original movies, is one of my absolute favorites.
How was I going faster than all you guys?
Well, you also started up because we both got blown up and had to respawn after you did,
right.
so...
Yeah.
Fuck, yeah, okay.
And
Yeah.
it only lets me go so fast. About 20 meters out, give or take. Well,
I'm
that's
here.
easy.
Benefits of getting there first.
So, guys, as far as tonight's podcast, we're probably going to call it right after this mission for the night and catch it back up with you guys next week with First Contact. Super excited for that one.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a great episode.
The real full, only TNG movie. Why did it not do the thing? Oh, yeah.
Because we went the wrong fucking way.
We ran to the wrong fucking door. Breaching door.
Klingons are planning something. They want to what our approach.
Alright, I'll talk to this one over here for us. Quick. Alright, get out of here, bitch.
Run, bitch. Run.
Where's the fuck? That's right. That door. I'll catch up with you guys in a second. Alright. Dude, you know what, honest to God, kind of freaks me out, though, when it comes to Trek history?
What?
What's that?
That in 40 years, First Contact will be in the past.
Yeah, isn't that wacky?
Well, that was rude.
Yeah, thought about that, had you?
No. That Klingon walked right up to me and just shot me in the face. Like, he said, fuck all y'all, I'm gonna go for this guy over here that's got nothing going on.
It really do be like that sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Because let's see, based off of Star Trek timeline, we should be in the middle of what, the Eugenics War right now,
Something like
according to
that.
TNG.
Or shortly after.
Yeah. Either
Yeah, we're
Let's
either
see,
in the middle
Khan
of it
was
or shortly
I was about to
after.
say Khan was sent into
Khan
space
was in
in
the 90s.
1996.
Right, the year
I
before
think
I was
I
born.
think we'd either be on the tail end of the eugenics wars, or we'd be done with them.
Right, and then gearing up for World War III, for the
Right.
final World War that sets every. Which I mean, look, if you look at the current timeline, let's be honest, we're hitting on it. And you know what? I want to say, I would love to say that Gene Roddenberry is a lot like Matt Groening of The Simpsons. Where he's from the future, came back in time, wrote Star Trek, but it's actually telling. You know, while we didn't have the eugenics war, that's because, you know, Gene Roddenberry coming back in time, that's a bit of a, butterfly effect. He fucked it up a little bit.
Maybe just a little bit.
But, yeah. But here we are in World War III. And shortly after World War III is warp drive starts getting looked at, and it gets assembled, and then first contact happens. But, I mean, then again, you know, so much of Trek has honestly influenced us. I mean, there are people out there, you know,
Oh, absolutely.
making transporters, making tricorders. Matter of fact, I read, what was it, a couple weeks ago, I think, they're launching the first privately, a private hospital is trying the first ever tricorder style device here soon. That should be able to diagnose a patient in less than like 10 minutes. They'll be trying that soon. Got guys working on cloaking devices, phasers. You know, there is a phaser out there right now. The only problem is the component in which works the phaser is about as big as a house, a one-story house. So it's definitely not handheld yet.
There is such a thing as a phaser rifle, but it breaks the fucking Geneva Convention.
That's true. Thank you, Canada.
I shit you not. It breaks the goddamn Geneva Convention.
Yeah.
Because it's a light-based weapon that blinds your enemies.
That sounds.
But since it risks permanent blindness, it breaks the goddamn Geneva Convention.
Well, at least it's not permanent death. Come on.
Right? Okay, now let's try turning the mission in. Oh, shit.
Alright, I went ahead and went to space dock. I'm about to beam down. But guys, that's going to do it here for us this week. We know it's a shorter podcast, but it's been kind of a long week for all of us. We're going to regroup next week, talk about First Contact. Carter, again, you've got the homework of watching First Contact next week.
Yep.
I'm probably going to watch it next week as well.
I'm probably going to watch it like 4 times by next week, but...
Yeah, get some... And then we've got that article that I've been saving for
Ever.
what will be 3 weeks at that point in time that talks about Zephyr Cochrane and First Contact. So we'll get into that. Real excited. I finally read the whole thing because it's talking about a comic. I don't know if I can really debate it, but the stuff that it says about First Contact, this guy definitely knows what he's talking about. So it's definitely not a Chris from Screen Rant situation. So, which is good.
Because we all know how that goes.
Yeah. Put a 5 on this one. Take the 0 off here.
But for now, at least.
Yes, for now, everyone, we hope you have a good week. Well, that's all the fucking... Sorry, I'm going through shit right now. Okay, there we go. Got my ship set up. Alright. Yeah, we hope you guys have a good week. Thank you again for joining us. And if you're not already, please follow us on Spotify.
Subscribe,
Two Captains,
comment.
One Pod. If you're not following here on YouTube, Captain Hudson, follow, subscribe, like, share, all the things. And over on TikTok, Two Captains, One Pod on TikTok as well. Like, share, follow, subscribe, all the little glorious buttons. Get our name out there, guys. We want some more communication from you guys. We're working on an Instagram soon and working on a website as well. John, I hadn't talked to you about that, but I'm looking at designing a website.
Okay.
Don't know what's going to be on there. Maybe some former episodes that we're going to load up there from the YouTube.
We'll burn that bridge when we get to it.
Yeah, eventually we will have some merch. And get to you guys from there. Next week, when you see us, we're going to be in the nice little black and gray uniforms on the bridge, the USS Enterprise E, which they don't have a real good bridge for it, but we'll be flying around in the E.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. But we will catch you guys next week. This is Captain Yarbrough signing off.
And I am Captain Hudson, signing off.
And I am Ensign Carter, signing off.